Brother Nashi, how are you? I am a South African man and I feel as if I am a broken man. I've been on social media, different social media pages, hoping that there might be someone that can assist me. But I don't think that there is any witchcraft that is left in Zim. Because if there was still witchcraft, maybe I could have gotten help by now. I have been to Zim several times. Maybe I have been communicating with the wrong people. There was a guy who told me that he was going to meet me in Zim, but this guy, he ended up switching off his phone just when I had crossed into Zim. When I bought another SIM card when I was in his country, then that was when I saw that his phone numbers were not working. I booked at a lodge. I stayed in Beitbridge. For 1 week, I was staying there, but this man, he was not even switching on his phone. Only when I had returned back to South Africa, that was when I saw that he was now having his phone switched on. And I asked him, why was it that he had switched off his phone the moment that I had crossed into Zim? He started to give me a lot of problems, saying that he is experiencing some challenges and he wanted to take his wife to a hospital and he did not have money. So that was the last time when I went to Zim. I want to go there because I've been told that there is someone that can assist me there, but I'm scared now to even go to Zim right now without anyone that is accompanying me, because I am thinking that someone will end up even robbing me because of the way that I am desperate. I am being hunted down by a Tokoloshe. This Tokoloshe, it hunts me in broad daylight. Day and night, I am being hunted by this creature, and it is not going to stop hunting me. I don't know until when. My story, it starts a very long time ago. I have been divorced by my wife. She divorced me when I stopped doing some businesses that were giving us a good life, and that is Women for You. A woman will stick by you until she sees that you are no longer making money, and she will run away from you as fast as possible, and she will pretend as if she never even knew you. My wife, me and him, we met when we were still in university. As time went on, me and my wife, we met when we were still in university, and we decided that it was going to be us against the world. I made a breakthrough because I started to make a lot of money. And right now, I am just living a very painful life. Between 2010 up until 2018, I used to have a very good job, even though I was not qualified for the job that I was doing. I used to work for the government. I was part of an inner circle. So there was a faction that everyone knew was untouchable. Money to me was just a number. Instead of going to work some days, I would go and play golf. Yes, I used to do this. I would go and play golf alone, just enjoying my life. And instead of some people at work complaining, they were afraid because they knew that we belonged to another faction. We had people that were in the government that were ruling. I did not even have to check my bank balance because I knew that I was making a lot of money. I had relatives, a lot of them that were tenderpreneurs, someone who will just gift you with 200K and tell you to go and buy yourself a t-shirt. I used to have a cousin of mine who would be like, yo, look at your shoes. They are too old. Let me deposit money for you so that you can buy brand new shoes. And he would be giving you 70K for you to go and spend. I had it all. There was a time in my life when I will be having cars parked in a row in my garage, cars that I did not even drive each and every day. I would drink some whiskeys that can even cost more than a teacher's salary, and I had respect everywhere. Me and my wife, there was a time when we could even finish 2 months without even cooking in our house. We would go and eat at high-end restaurants in Umhlanga, and we used to book the entire restaurant because we did not want to be around noisy people. I was the one mainly who signed some very important documents that had to do with tenders. And some of these tenderpreneurs, they were the same people that I drank alcohol with. So you can just imagine the things that were happening underneath the table. And during those years, the Zuma years, my life was so perfect, brother. I was not connected to him in any way, but I had been put in a position where it was easy for me to make money. Then that was when a new leadership suddenly came, and it was sort of like a cleanup mission. The white people, they were against some of the things that were happening, because we made sure that the white companies that were owned by white people, they never even smelled what a tender was like. This was the real fight. The white people, they were being cut out of the tenders. So they were fighting, coming up with a lot of stories. But that one, it is for South Africans to judge on their own. I'm just saying as it is my own side of the story, because a tender, it does not matter if you are a white or a black person. When you run a company, if you get a government tender, then you are set for life. It's more like your company has finally won the lotto. So blacks and whites, they are always in competition over that thing. Just that the white people, they steal, but they don't steal like the way that we steal right now. So when the new leadership came around, and the fight that was happening, Brother Nashim, I was fired. I did not have any money at all. And the worst thing that can ever happen to you, when your bank account has been flagged and you have 1 million in the bank account and you do not even have any cash. I used to be friends with this other Zimbabwean politician who used to tell me that he always keeps a bag that is full of money. Even another Ethiopian friend of mine who told me that he does not even trust the bank, and I should have listened. I wish that I had taken out some money that I could have kept in the house, because I used to handle large sums of money, but I always kept the money in the bank. I really do not know why. I always kept such a lot of money in the bank. And after my bank had been flagged, that was when I saw that some of these guys that keep the money in their houses, they know better, because maybe I could have not done the rituals if I had kept that 1 million hidden somewhere. But bro, I did not even think that it was going to happen to me. I always trusted the system. I was left with nothing. My cars were repossessed one by one. The house, it was taken. I could not even afford anything. And then I returned back to the village. I got the last money that I had, and this was the money that I was using when I was now in the village. It was not even a lot of money. I had a brother of mine who told me to look for help from a sangoma, because what was happening to me, others, they believed that it was bad luck, even though it was simply because of factions that were fighting, and it was affecting some of us that were on the ground. So I went with my brother to this sangoma. When we arrived at the sangoma, it happened that there was another sangoma, a specialist in cleansing people, who was from Soweto, who claimed to have helped politicians and businessmen. And he said that in order for him to give me a deep cleansing, I was supposed to follow him to Soweto. So I did. And he told me the money that I was supposed to bring. I took the last money that I had, and I even borrowed some of the money. And I went to Joburg from KZN. When I arrived there, that was when he told me that in order for me to make money again, I was supposed to use soil. He did not tell me the truth at first, that this soil that we were going to be using, it was soil that was going to be taken from the graveyard. On the night of the ritual, I had done about 75% of the rituals, and then that was when he told me that we were supposed to go to a cemetery. And this was said when it was around 2 a.m. And he said that if you do not fulfill this, then you need to know that you have to repeat again, and you will have to pay me again. And I did not have any money. I said, what am I going to do? He said that we are going to collect soil from the graveyard it is the one that is going to assist you after I would have cleansed you. And we are supposed to collect this soil before the sun would have gone up. I said, do I have any choice? Let me do this. I have already come this long way from Durban. Right now, if I refuse this man, he would have eaten my money for nothing. We then drove to a graveyard, and when we arrived there, they made me to get out of the car, and then we started walking, and we approached this other grave, and he said that I was supposed to take soil. I want to advise those that have lost their loved ones to always go and check the graves of their loved ones, because you might be saying that your relative is resting in the cemetery, yet your relative has been turned into a Tokoloshe. I saw a couple of people that were doing some stuff in the graveyards, that were collecting soil. Some of them were digging a little bit. Some were even burying some of the things that they did not want to use anymore for rituals. So what we were supposed to do was that we were supposed to wake up the spirit of that person. And this was supposed to be a person whose relatives had almost forgotten about him or him, because there was no tombstone, there was nothing. You could just see that, yes, here there is a person that is buried, but we did not know if the person who was buried there was a man or a woman. It's like the people, they just buried their loved ones and they forgot about that person. So I was given a wooden shovel, and then I was told to dig. I dug up some soil until I was almost knee deep. I was digging on top of the grave. And after I had dug until I was knee deep, then they told me to collect the soil. And I put it in a plastic bag, and we returned back to Soweto. When we returned back to Soweto, it was around 4 a.m. and I was told to quickly bath. I had to bath myself using cold water. It was so cold on that night. And when I was done, I was told to go and sleep. I returned back to KZN. Within 3 weeks of me returning back to KZN, the luck started. There was a guy who approached me, who told me that he wanted a consultancy. They offered me a consultancy role with a salary almost double that which I made in the government. And this company that I was working for, they started to do tenders. Brother, I started to live a good life again. And then the Tokoloshes, they started following me. One night, I was unable to move. When I woke up, I could only move my eyes, and I saw that in my bedroom, there was something that was walking around. I could not see if it was a human being, a Tokoloshe, an animal, but I just felt that there was something that was moving in my bedroom, and I felt so much pain, as if there was something that was trying to kill me. Then that was when the Tokoloshes began. One night, I felt that there was something that was moving in the ceiling, and then I saw a rat. This rat that I saw, it just appeared out of nowhere. I don't know how it was even possible. There is no space in my bedroom where I can say that a rat came out of the ceiling, but it suddenly appeared. And this rat, as it was climbing down the walls, it did not look like it was a rat anymore. It seemed as if it was a little human being, like a stillborn baby that was covered in a lot of black hair. It was so scary. I screamed out so loud, such that even my neighbors, they came knocking because of the way that I screamed. And I lied to my neighbors that I had seen a snake that was moving in my bedroom, and there was no snake. It was just a lie. I started to see a lot of dead people, a lot of my dead relatives. They would be walking in my bedroom without them even talking to me. I had bad luck after bad luck. To this very day, any company that I work for, it will collapse. It will face bad luck. The company that I was working for, it was suddenly raided by the Hawks, and I don't know what the story was about. And then I did not have a job. I returned back to Soweto. and I returned back to Soweto this year after years of struggling. And this is what the healer has told me. The healer has told me that if I want to protect myself, to return back to work like the way that I used to, and to live a good life, I am supposed to sacrifice my son. I have a son that I do have with a girlfriend whom I was cheating on my wife with that woman. So my son is 17 years old. The mom is from Eastern Cape. I do not know where my son and the mother is right now because it is a relationship that happened a very long time ago. So this man, he said that at Tokoloshe, it can go and locate my son. And this is the only way that I can save myself so that my other children, they can live a good life. I need advice from your listeners. I do not want to sacrifice my son, but at the same time, I am tired of poverty. Do you know any good witch that is from Zim that is not going to scam me? I have tried to go to church. I went to this other big church in Durban, but they did not help me. They prayed for me, but I did not see any changes in my life. There are times when I am sleeping. This can even happen during the day. I'll be sleeping, then I'll be having an argument with my ex-wife. She goes and she fills up a bucket full of water, and she comes and she pours the water on top of me, and when I wake up, I'll be soaking wet. And it will have happened in a dream, which means that it is the Tokoloshe. I'm scared because this Sangoma said to me, Tokoloshes, they have power. This Tokoloshe, it can even end up boiling cooking oil, and the Tokoloshe would come and pour the cooking oil on me. If it will ever happen that this Tokoloshe will do that, it means that it is going to damage me in a very painful way. So I just need advice from your listeners. What am I supposed to do? I have tried to go to Zim, but it did not work. I'll be there in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our DM brother. Let us try to speak with our dear brother in the comment section. He's asking for help. If there is any way where you think that he might get any kind of help, please let us assist him in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.